I hope the Iron Sheik comes on the show and destroys you.
Hello and welcome everyone to another edition of the FTW Podcast, the wrestling world in all of its laughable glory. This is our WWE TLC pay-per-view pre-show. Special edition of the conversation that we normally have every week, but exclusively about this Sunday's pay-per-view. This is an abridged edition of the conversation we did live. There were quite a few audio issues that we had to deal with thanks to Skype, thanks to Google Hangouts, and thanks to technology and our inability to use it properly. My name is Garvin and I'm doing this intro, but actually part of the conversation was Lee, Harrison, and Mike from pwtorch.com. We're going to go into that conversation now, but keep in mind there are some audio issues.
So we're heading into TLC tomorrow, and the three things that happened in the meantime was main event, Superstars, and SmackDown. The only thing I want to bring up going into basically was the close of SmackDown. I want to bring up and kick to you guys leading into TLC, and this is something we talked about on Tuesday, was the rise of Antonio Cesaro. Yeah, the win was by countout, but still it does count. What do you guys think about that? Cesaro getting a pretty big push over Sheamus.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty good. I mean, seems like Cesaro's been kind of up and down the last few weeks. You know, one week, you know, they'll give him, like, you know, no offense against, like, or he'll have that terrible match with Kofi I think he had a few weeks ago on main event. Then he goes pretty strong against Sheamus. You know, right now he's a pet project of Vince McMahon, kind of like how, you know, Drew McIntyre Jack Swagger was a few years ago. And I mean, I'm kind of curious to see, you know, where they go with Cesaro in the next 2 months, and, you know, after WrestleMania, what exactly they'll be doing.
Cesaro seems to be a bit different though than to, you know, the normal, like, you know, Drew McIntyre, Jack Swagger. They didn't really get over, but, you know, Cesaro is actually showing some signs of getting over. Like the moves that he does, you know, are just, people are going, whoa, holy mother hell, you know, rather than the Jack Swagger's not really, you know, his gimmick was a bit, I didn't really like it in the first place, and Drew McIntyre was always a bit weird.
Well, the thing about like that's the problem though, is when you make that comparison between Drew McIntyre and that's not exactly great company to be in, and it almost seems like if you are a pet project of Vince McMahon, it's like you're gonna be hot for a while and then they're just gonna peter you out pretty damn quick. Although Triple H has been having some pretty, well, he hasn't even having a decent success, right? Because Sin Cara was his, was Brodus Clay his too?
Oh God, don't start talking about Brodus Clay.
I don't think Brodus Clay was a Triple H. Brodus Clay's been around, you know, longer than Triple H has been in power. You know, Clay was down in developmental for a few years.
Brodus Clay that started in, like, you know, November. And then they didn't bring him back till January, and then they turned that stupid gimmick that they started. Ugh.
Yeah, the other question I had. Okay, so I mean, given the fact of Tuesday we talked about it, and on SmackDown, I mean, he did defeat Sheamus, and Sheamus is kind of like the hot face on SmackDown right now. He's like the head face, especially, well, he's going to be the head face again now that Orton is injured once more. Do you see maybe Cesaro is going to become, I mean, kind of like, okay, so Ryback had that rocket rise due to an injury, you know, or do you think Antonio Cesaro might have that too, that they might be thinking this guy's pretty hot, decent match against Sheamus, let's throw him in there, you know, let's take him in there, Sheamus needs someone to spar against, and Alberto Del Rio, that ain't happening anymore.
Oh yeah, he'd be a good fresh face for, you know, the heel side of SmackDown. I mean, they definitely need to shore up their heels there. I mean, who do you got? You have
ADR.
Big Show.
ADR.
Del Rio's not exactly lighting the world on fire over there anymore.
Yeah, that's all you got, though.
Del Rio hasn't been lighting the fire on for about months and months. All this year has been a nightmare for Del Rio.
Yeah, Del Rio and Randy Orton have not had a good year.
Yeah,
Maybe they should form a tag team.
Well,
What do you mean, like 3MB?
Well, the problem with Orton's year is it's mostly down to him not being in the ring, whereas it's like the less Orton's in the ring, the worse his year is, whereas Del Rio, the more he's in the ring, the worse his year goes, apparently.
Well, I think Alberto Del Rio, I like him as a worker. The stuff he does in the ring is good. It's just he just doesn't click with the fans, and he just needs boring. Like a character makeover.
Yeah, that was something.
So someone noted on Twitter, one of the guys over at PW Torch, Benjamin Tucker, he noted that Alberto Del Rio, he doesn't talk about his motives anymore. Before he's talking about how it was his destiny to be world champion, he doesn't mention that anymore. And I mean, it just seems like he needs a reason, to be in the ring, and now he's like just there. Yeah, he just shows up, and sometimes he wins, sometimes he loses, and the only thing that really gets a reaction out of him is Ricardo Rodriguez.
Yeah, that is the best thing about Del Rio, which is quite embarrassing.
Well, they've been toning down Rodriguez too.
Yeah.
The last couple of months.
Yeah, but it seems like lately, I mean, once Del Rio had his destiny, once that motivation was dropped, he just became Sheamus's punchline, is all he was. And I mean, face it, Sheamus versus Del Rio for the past 4 months has basically been Sheamus pulling pranks on Del Rio like it's a Dennis the Menace cartoon or something. So it's just like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it is a character makeover, but even if it was, who would you have him go against to build on? Not Sheamus anymore, because that I am so tired of that. But I mean, if you had to, who would you put him up against?
Maybe just have him go away for a few months and maybe come back with tweaks to his character or gimmick. I don't know. Come up with a storyline where like he loses his money or something. I don't know. Come up with something. Just have him do something else.
I would after WrestleMania, I would just give him the WrestleMania match, whatever mid card, whatever first match, second match, whatever, and just take him off TV. He gets injured so badly or something because he's just so boring. I can't stand watching him.
Lee, you're thinking that far ahead. You wouldn't even pull the plug on him by Rumble or Elimination Chamber. You would go all the way to Super.
No, you can't really, because it's big money. It's big money around between January and March. You can't really do that. But I'd pull him after WrestleMania.
Really?
He's a good hand in the ring to keep around for the next few months.
Yeah.
Keep him around for the Rumble. He'll have a spot in the Elimination Chamber. I'm sure they'll have some kind of 17-man tag match or something at WrestleMania that he can be a part of.
17 man, that's a bit.
Yeah.
He'll be the only
everyone
one
has to
without
get a
a
payday at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
He'll be part of the pre-show battle royal.
Give him a Divas Battle Royal match. He'll be fine.
There we go.
Yeah, that'll work really well. Okay, the other thing I wanted to talk about on SmackDown was Cody Rhodes and Damian Sandow taking out the Uso brothers. This is just more like we were talking about on Tuesday. Again, this is just one more example of Rhodes and Sandow being just amazing. And we were discussing it on Tuesday, and I took a little bit of heat because I said that the two of them separate could be better than the two of them together, and I don't know how I feel about that now, because you guys really pointed out to me that the two of them together is pretty stellar, and again, I'm starting to think that, but these two are just so talented. I mean, Mike, what do you think? Do you think this is like Team Hell No Part 2, 2.0?
Yeah, kind of. And I like them right now as a team. It adds something to the tag division, which has had a little hiccup in the last month or two. It seems like they've taken a lot of focus off of the tag division, and I mean you can blame that on injuries with and the injury to Cody Rhodes. I'm a little disappointed now that they're putting a kibosh on the Damian Sandow apprentice gimmick, though. I was starting to get into that a little bit. And, SmackDown, they kind of put an end to it, saying that he doesn't need an apprentice now that his best friend and partner Cody Rhodes is back. And I'm kind of wondering, they plant that seed of people saying that that they don't really like each other and they're talking bad about each other behind each other's backs, and a little curious to see where they go with that.
I think that's mostly preparation for, because this thing does not have legs. I mean, they are going to have to split them up at some point, and you can't have the two best tag teams in the WWE being 4 singles wrestlers thrown together, because Joe will have an aneurysm. I mean, if it's not that classic 1992 tag team wrestling that, our parents loved. He goes crazy. So I think the idea of that and the Apprentice thing is mostly maybe they're workshopping a couple ideas. They're like, well, let's kick this around and see how it feels. Let's see how the crowd reacts, because they are going to have to break them up. And I think breaking them up and having an instant feud between the two of them could really work well, because Damien Sandow is only going to get better as a heel.
Who would be the face, though?
Rhodes. I really think, especially
Rhodes.
with the mustache. Yeah, once he came out busting out the middle school math teacher facial hair, crowd reacted instantly. Exactly, and I think he can use that to build a pretty good face persona.
He kind of reminded me of Garvin with that mustache.
No, I'm sorry,
Garvin looked up.
He looked up so insulted, too. He was like, are you serious? He's like gesturing to his mighty beard, going, "What?"
It's like, what?
Like Grabthar's hammer.
He did remind me. He reminded me of a car salesman. He really did, Cody Rhodes.
Picasso?
Car salesman.
Oh, car
Car
salesman.
salesman.
Well, Picasso had a mustache. Although
He remind me a little bit of Super Troopers.
That cop mustache? No, it's not big enough for a cop mustache.
Yeah, not big, but it's getting there.
Yeah, if he grows that out to the full Ron Swanson, that'll be pretty awesome.
Yeah. Or maybe a Ron Burgundy.
Yeah,
Ron Burgundy.
That'll be fantastic. All right, so yeah, I think that's. Well, I mean, what do you think? Do you think Cody Rhodes could be a face for that?
Yeah, I think he could be a good face. He's small and athletic enough. He can bump around for the heels and be that sympathetic baby face.
The underdog.
Who would end up better off though? Would Sandow or Cody Rhodes end up better off?
I don't know.
I think Sandow would probably be better off.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. No, I'm kind of with you on that one.
I think it's too early to tell with the way these two are, because you can see them evolving right before you, and Damien Sandow's just been. I mean, he's got a hot hand right now, and I don't know. I think these two have a lot of potential, especially going into next year. So I don't know, maybe.
It's amazing how far though, how long Cody Rhodes has actually been in WWE. It's unbelievable. He's been there 6 years already.
Yeah, and then, I was just about to say, and after 6 years, they haven't given him, like a true chance. I mean, they throw him with the Intercontinental title, and he did very well with that. What he does in the tag division and when he was with Legacy, that's very good. But I think he might just be too small to really go on to a world title or WWE title picture. Where I think Sandow, he's got the size. He can cut those. Those annoying heel promos, kind of like Ted DiBiase. The hell?
I know, that's what I'm wondering.
No, the chat's saying if Damien Sandow and Cody Rhodes win, they need to bring back the classic tag team title from the early 90s, just to build them as a classy tag team heel. I don't know about that. I mean, they're yeah, I don't quite agree with that one.
If they want to be classy, they should wear tuxedos.
Oh my god, if you start with tuxedos, I am going to exit this conversation.
And then they can have a tuxedo match.
Oh my god, just shut it up and move on.
All right, so moving on, let's just jump right into it. TLC tomorrow. As it's shaping up, we are missing... Well, let's just put it right out there. Miz is not booked at any point at all in TLC. Given the fact that, we'd have Miz TV, he seems to be on an upward swing. Do you think we're going to see him in a segment? Probably not a match, but at least a segment on the pay-per-view?
Well, I don't think he's on an upward swing. I think he's just kind of hovering, not doing really much right now. I don't really think he's got a proper feud going. I don't think they know what to do with him. I really don't, because what's he done? He's essentially done nothing. He's just been drifting in and out of people.
I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to get into that Roddy Piper role, where he doesn't wrestle that much. He'll do a lot of interview segments, he'll do commentary, and then when he does have that match, he'll try to make it seem more special than it is. That's just kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, the only problem though is that Piper did that kind of thing at the tail end of his career.
No, not necessarily.
Really?
That's pretty much how he came into WWE. He would do his pits.
Okay, yeah. WWE, yeah. Well,
or WWF. So.
Yeah, WWF. Yeah. Okay. But do you think that's the wisest use of him? Because, He is, yeah, he's great on the mic. Miz TV has its hit or misses, but it can still be entertaining. He's still pretty good in the ring. Like, do you think that, not hitting him on his prime when he can still put together a pretty good match, do you think that's a mistake, or do you think WWE is content to basically let his mic work speak for him?
Yeah, I think they're content with that.
I'm sorry, what was that, Lee?
No, go for it, Mike.
No, I was done. I made my point.
What did you say? I didn't hear you because I was talking over you.
I said I think they're content with what he's doing right now.
Oh, right, okay then. Okay, that's fine. I think he could do it with a bit of a change of a moveset. I think he can stick with the Skull Crushing finale, but I'd be happy with him just to kind of change it around a bit, because I don't think it really fits him as a face persona, really, as such. The moves he does. I don't know why. It just doesn't really fit for me.
No, that's fair. All right, so let's just run down the card here. First up,
I did want to add. I think that they'll add a Miz TV segment to TLC. Maybe they'll throw him in with CM Punk. Have them do a part 2 interview, and just way to get them on TV for the show.
He's got CM Punk's got to be on there somewhere. He's got to be. So that's a good call.
Either he'll be part of the main event, where maybe he'll come down and do commentary, or he'll do a Miz TV segment.
Yeah, I think it's more likely going to be the main event. Think about it, because it was built around originally Punk, and then maybe distract Ryback or something like that. Well, the Shield have got to win.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
But why not have them in both? Why not have them do a Miz TV segment, then have Punk do commentary on the championship match?
Not
the championship, the tag match.
No.
There's no reason they couldn't.
No, I'm just kicking it to you guys, see what you thought. All right, so we're just going to run down the card then. First things first, Diva's #1 contenders match. We got basically just the Divas division going on in a Santa Caliber Battle Royale. This is going to be on YouTube beforehand, probably. I mean, the thing that we were talking about Tuesday is maybe 10, 12 minutes devoted to this thing. I don't see much coming out of this. I don't know, I'm picking Caitlyn to keep going. I don't know what anybody else. I mean, Garvin's got Tamina. I mean, Lee, you got any picks?
Take your pick, really, innit? What the hell's the difference between a Battle Royal and a Santa's Helper Battle Royal?
They're all dressed up in slowly Santa lingerie.
We're on PG, remember? We're not on your day.
There's no PG on the internet.
Okay.
And you're out in international waters, so you can do whatever you want.
I can do whatever I want. I'm not graded by my PG rules. We've got different rules for that here.
Out in international waters, you can rebroadcast Major League Baseball with implied oral consent.
We wouldn't even decide to air Major League Baseball.
Implied oral. I'm trying to imagine what that meeting would be like. Well, can I rebroadcast this? Well, you can't not rebroadcast it.
Wink.
Wink. If you catch my drift. All right. Anyway, anybody expect anything spectacular to come out of this?
I don't expect much to come out with it. Maybe they'll go with Caitlyn or Natalya or something. I'm gonna kind of hedge my bets there. One of those two. I don't even expect the 12 minutes you're giving me. I think this will go under 5. Maybe 3 minutes.
Whoa, 3 minutes? That's been very generous.
Yeah, I know. 3 to 5 minutes with intros.
They'll just do one big one. Just everyone run down to the ring.
They'll get the jobber entrance where they're all just there.
Vince is literally in the ring pointing to his wrist.
It's happened before.
Yeah, come on, let's roll, let's do this. All right, Garv, you unmuted yet, or?
Well, first, 2 things. The first thing is, no, there is no difference between the Battle Royal and this thing that we have, except for they're going to be dressed stupidly. But it seems like they're trying to fit Tamina into a bigger role. And since she's the only one in this that has any type of credibility outside of Layla and Caitlyn, I think it makes the most sense to go with Tamina. And Caitlyn also won the last Battle Royal by mistake, I think is what everyone was saying. So yeah. I don't see her winning again. On purpose.
Oh, that's a good point.
So. Excellent point, Garf. I forgot about that. All right, I'm going to take Tamina then. Here's your right choice.
What was the mistake? I don't remember that.
The mistake was that Caitlyn actually eliminated. God, was it? It wasn't Layla, because Layla was watching. She eliminated someone when she wasn't supposed to win. So then everyone was kind of in shock. It might be Eve. Everyone was just kind of like, "What the fuck do we do?"
Yeah, they were kind of caught out. All right, so Mike, who are you taking?
I'll go with Natalya. I'm gonna go in a different direction. Yeah.
All right, Mike gets sorry.
For some reason they wheeled her out on SmackDown, and I don't know. I've always liked her. Maybe they're ready to give her another go at the Divas title.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, it is.
Nice. Yeah.
All right, for the number 1 contenders match.
She's got the widest back of all the divas.
I'd love to pick Rosa Mendes just because of the whole, because it's Rosa Mendes.
That's racist.
That's not. How the hell's that racist?
Because you're British and that's what you do. All right, so the number 1 contenders match for the tag belts. We got Crossroads taking on Rey Cara in a tables match. Tuesday I said that because Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara did not have a match to lead into this to quote-unquote earn it, that I think they're being fast-tracked to take the belts. However, Rey Mysterio is having his problems, so I'm not sure about that. Mike, who are you thinking? Who are you picking on this one?
I'm going to go with Crossroads on this one.
Okay.
That's been racist, Mike.
I think that's the direction they were going before Cody got injured. And, yeah, they're just going to go back on that track now that he's back in the ring again. And yeah, Rey and Sin Cara haven't even been on TV in the last few weeks.
So they get the number 1 contendership match.
Yeah. I don't even remember Rey being on TV. Gosh, it definitely wasn't on TV during playoffs.
No, he was injured.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly injured.
Well,
yeah, it just seems like they threw in, the next big face team to go against Crossroads, and I don't see them pulling it off.
Yeah, I'm switching my pick to Crossroads too, just because the whole thing with Rey and everything, it's just and the fact that Rhodes is back, yay, with the mustache, and it'd be silly not to give him the title. U.S. Championship match, we got Antonio Cesaro versus R-Truth. Seems like they're kind of dropping the little Jimmy gimmick from R-Truth, possibly. No references to it. He's still wearing the shirt, but he didn't really mention anything, didn't gesture anything on his way down or anything like that. I'm still saying that Cesaro's walking away with the belt, especially after what happened on SmackDown.
They were talking about Little Jimmy, I think, last week or last Monday on Raw, or last week during Raw or SmackDown. They were talking about Little Jimmy when Kofi was on commentary, and it was Miz was on commentary talking about how he was always talking to Little Jimmy and all this and that, and how it might cost him matches. And maybe that was their way right now, but they've been talking about Little Jimmy recently.
Well, no, I'm talking about Monday. Monday was like the first time that we saw Rhodes. I'm sorry, we saw Truth come down, not actually pointing or anything. Where he does, come on, Jimmy, or anything like that, holding the ropes. Didn't do anything like that. So that's why I was maybe we're seeing the end of this terrible idea. Regardless, I'm still taking Cesaro.
I don't really think you can go with anyone but Cesaro. What the fuck has R-Truth done in the last year?
Oh, and he got destroyed by the Big Show on SmackDown last night. Oh my God, that was a glorified squash match there.
Yeah, so maybe they're just rebuilding R-Truth into something else. Hopefully, they could use a heel, so maybe he'll go back to his heel persona. Who knows? Jesus, you don't like that idea, Lee?
Well, you can't really win with R-Truth because, in my opinion, he's bad as a face with his Little Jimmy character, and he's pretty shit as a heel as well. So you can't really win.
See, I don't know.
Unless he was a tweener, to which that'd be awful.
So no matter what, Lee, in your eyes, he's a failure in any way they use him.
Anyone who talks to themselves or decides to talk to air, as the case may be, is a failure in my eyes. That on mic, just TV.
All right, Mike, what do you think about that? Do you agree?
With people who talk to themselves?
No, with Lee. Do you think there's no way R-Truth could possibly get over?
Oh no, I think at the beginning of his heel run back in 2011, I thought he was doing really good stuff, and then they just went in a different direction with him. They turned more into like the conspiracy stuff, and
that was so
that's when it kind of got weird. But like when he was fighting Cena, I thought I thought he was doing some good heel mic work. And,
I mean, he's a solid
wrestling
worker.
is pretty good heel. Yeah.
Yeah, the only problem is, I mean, he's kind of getting up there, isn't he? He's in the, like, 35, 36. I mean, you got to...
No, I think he's almost 40.
Yeah, so there's not much going to be left in those legs. So, I mean, that's the only problem. I like R-Truth. I think he's a good worker. He's a good... I mean, he can work a segment if it's not something stupid. Like you were saying, the program he was running with Cena was great up until he started talking about the conspiracy thing, in which case it started sucking. But...
Really? Did everyone think that was good? I thought that was awful, especially the main event. I think it was at Over the Limit or something like that last year. That was awful. I really didn't like that. It was Cena versus like R-Truth in the main event.
Yeah, it was Capital Punishment.
Oh, Capital Punishment. Yeah, that god awful pay-per-view. Yeah, that was awful.
Huh. Yeah, I'll have to,
that's okay.
Have to go back.
I genuinely thought that was awful.
All right, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that. Well, regardless, anyway, Intercontinental Championship: Wade Barrett versus Kofi Kingston. Again, Kofi's doing pretty good. Not gonna beat Barrett. Barrett is on a tear. They are fast tracking him. Well, I think he'll probably get one more win out of the IC Championship. Get something going in. I think he's gonna have something going with. I mean, I would not be surprised if he's not holding either the World Heavyweight Championship or probably the WWE title by. Maybe WrestleMania? Maybe April, May. I wouldn't be surprised if he's holding Tom Gold at that point.
Well, I think you're being very optimistic there.
Yeah, I don't think they're going that fast with him. I'm thinking maybe he'll win Money in the Bank.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Oh, that'd be pretty good too. I keep forgetting about that. You think he'd win the SmackDown or Raw?
SmackDown.
Yeah,
probably SmackDown.
Yeah.
It won't be Raw. It won't go that well. But on Sunday, I don't think he'll win either. Because he lost in a minute on Raw. About a minute, something like that. Anyway, I think Kofi will retain because they're pushing Kofi as well as they're trying to push Wade as well. So I do think Kofi will win.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they're trying to make Kofi the face of main event. You know, he's been on there more than anyone now, and seems like they're giving him another chance to. Another run as a singles wrestler, and I think he'll retain against Barrett.
I hope he doesn't. Like, I genuinely do hope he doesn't retain it. I do hope Wade wins, but I can't see him booking him that way because I just think they're really going for it with Kofi. Even though unless he changes his gimmick around a bit, he'll never get more than the Intercontinental title.
Mm-hmm. All right. Money in the Bank ladder match. We got Dolph Ziggler versus John Cena. And this, Mike, I wanted to kick this idea to you and see what you thought. I kind of took, and I got a little bit of heat for it. So, I kind of got a little smacked on the nose when I mentioned this, and I said that WWE Creative, we blame them for a lot. And one of the things I can't stand is lately it seems like when things get tough, they suck more. And I think this is kind of the example of that. Dolph Ziggler, the John Cena thing, I mean, they're running, and then, like, again, the tag match later on. Feels like when things aren't going their way, they really can't write their way out of it or even around it. What do you think about Ziggler and John Cena in a ladder match for the case?
I like the idea of the match. A lot of people assume that Cena is going to win. I think with it being a ladder match, it doesn't necessarily need Cena to be pinned for 3 seconds. That's why I'm thinking Dolph will keep his Money in the Bank briefcase. I don't think Cena needs it. I don't think they need that to go to Cena versus The Rock at WrestleMania. I don't think it's a vital step or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't really get what you're saying that this is a terrible idea or anything, or something that they can't book their way out of. I don't get what you're saying there.
No, it's not that it's a terrible idea. It's just that this is the most creative thing they can come up with to get around this problem. They got an issue that they're running into with Punk, with Cena being injured, then Punk being injured, and it feels like what they're doing is instead of coming up with something interesting to get out of it, they're just kind of throwing shit together to get them to the next show or the next pay-per-view. Instead of looking at it as an opportunity to maybe try something new or give someone a shot, and just you basically try and think of let's take a mid-stringer, let's stick him up there, see what he does. It feels like they're just relying on these tropes to get him through to the next. Basically, what they're doing
how's
is,
that not giving someone a shot then?
What do you mean?
By taking someone from the mid card and saying, let's put them here, see what they do. To me, that's giving them a shot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, if Cena didn't get injured, we probably wouldn't be talking about Ryback in the 6-man tag or even going up against Punk. If Punk wasn't injured, we wouldn't have the Shield on the pay-per-view most likely.
I don't know about that. We would have the Shield on the pay-per-view probably. I don't
think in a match.
Really?
I think that they may have pushed the Shield through because of Cena's injury. Is my guess. And the whole...
You mean Punk's injury?
Sorry, Punk's injury. Sorry, not Cena. I wish Cena was injured. Sorry, not Punk. No, I don't think they'd main event TLC though. I don't think it would be anywhere near the main event if Punk hadn't got injured. It would be Punk versus whoever, Ryback.
Oh yeah, but we'd still just see the Shield in a match. I mean, I think they were being set to be debuted probably within the next few weeks anyway, and just the fact that Ryback was in that scenario, they just used that as an opportunity to bring him up.
I think they pushed it through. I really think they pushed it through. Because
you think they pushed it through?
I think they pushed it through. I don't think that was a plan. That's just my opinion, but I don't think. I don't think it was.
I don't think it was a plan for that time. I think they were going to be coming up probably within either now or within the next few weeks. I figured that was something that they probably had in their back pocket that they were planning on bringing up, and they just pushed it ahead of time because of everything that happened with Cena and Ryback.
Yeah, the only issue I have with this match, and at the time I didn't like the idea of it, and it's okay now, I don't like if Cena wins. If Cena wins, it's going to be such a piss take. It's going to be really fucking everyone off. Like, even the Cena fans will be fucked off, in a weird way. Because why would Cena have the money in the... No, but, bear with me on this one. Why would Cena want the Money in the Bank match when he's pretty much already guaranteed almost likely to face The Rock again at some point, which is looking like it's what they're doing.
Well, the talk would be that they would change the rules of the briefcase. Dolph Ziggler, he was a SmackDown guy when he won it, so he could only go towards, the world title. With Cena having it, well, he's a Raw guy now, so he can go for the WWE title and cash in to, face The Rock at WrestleMania.
If they did that though, and if they are going the whole road Cena versus Punk again, is it not just going to piss people off? Like, it's going to piss me off because, it was built as once in a lifetime. This argument's been going on for a long time, but, if you get Cena at The Rock again at WrestleMania because of this Money in the Bank briefcase shit, it's going to be really frustrating because I don't want another Cena Rock main event at WrestleMania. I don't want another build towards it, and I don't want that as a headline match because I feel they will lose pay-per-view buys. The match won't be as good, and the build is probably going to suck.
Well, this wasn't
even WrestleMania.
The first one wasn't even all that great. No, the only problem I have is, to me, giving Cena the case is just a ridiculous idea. I mean, you got Ziggler, who's doing pretty well. Stuttered a little bit, but he's doing okay. He's doing pretty well right now. He's got the case. It's been a non-issue. I mean, this case has been a non-issue until this point. And then it's like, well, then why would you have him hold it for this entire time? Not reference it, and then give it to Cena again. Because like you were saying earlier, it's a mistake because he could basically... It's understood that John Cena can get a title shot at any time he wants.
I agree with you, but the problem I have is that WWE are clearly going through ratings issues because they are completely being destroyed at the minute. And you know what WWE do when they hit... No, but you know what they do when they hit the panic button, Harrison? They hit the John Cena panic button. And they go with John Cena as the main event in pretty much every single... happened last year. It's John Cena, John Cena, John Cena.
See, I disagree with that because, look, when they went to 3 hours, they knew the ratings were going to drop. It happened when WCW did it. It was going to happen when WWE did it. So the idea that they would go into it and thinking, we'll get more ratings, no, you're just spreading it out more. Plus, they're facing Monday Night Football. And they're facing Monday Night Football now throughout their entire run. So I think the idea that they would I think they went into it. I mean, there's no way they could not make that switch and think, oh, our ratings are only going to go up now. It's like, no, they're going to suffer, and they're going to keep suffering probably until after the playoffs, and then we might see it get back up, which is great because that's when they start hitting the Money in the Bank, they start hitting Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania.
Okay, the problem with that, though, is the fact that they've gone 3 hours and they've seen the audience, and I know PW touched them into this a lot of times, that the audience, there's no set period now. Like, we had 2 hour, over the 2 hours, you could tell when people were going to join the show at the top of the hours and stuff like this. Now, it's all over the place. It is literally all over the place. People join in like the second segment rather than the top of the hour. In the third hour that starts, people are actually going away rather than coming in. It's mad, and there's no kind of pattern to it, because they've lost the pattern of, they don't know what's going to happen during the show, and people just aren't interested for certain bits, so they deliberately skip it.
Yeah, and I think people really surprised WWE when they tuned in for the first hour instead of having that be the dead hour that it always was when they did those 3-hour shows. They do those 3-hour shows, and everybody knew that nothing happened from 8 to 9 o'clock, and no one tuned in. Well, now people are tuning in from 8 to 10 instead of 9 to 11, and it's that main event hour that's really bringing them down and suffering because of it.
The problem is as well, WWE aren't not helping themselves by they are dedicating that hour to shit, for literally shit.
Not just shit. No, it's segments. I mean, let's face it, that first hour is mostly the main heel or the main face going on TV and giving a 20 minutes, or if it's Triple H, a 45 minutes of mic time. And then you don't need to watch that because you're going to get that recap 2 more times on the rest of Raw. Then again on SmackDown, the main event and everything.
Yeah, but the first hour is fine. The second hour is fine. It's the third hour when they start losing. It looks like they run out of ideas. So then they follow it up with matches that just random matches and people, shitty little gimmicks. Like, even Del Rio now, instead of has a basic 2-minute match, his matches last 10, 11 minutes when they normally would last 3. They're just extending matches out.
That's I mean, you get something like. To me, it's that 10 o'clock to 10:30 period that is really the lull of the show for me, and that makes or break if I stay up or go to bed. And it used to be these quick squash matches, or when they would do those 3-hour shows, they would have those matches in that first hour. They'd get them out of the way. Now they're putting them at 10 o'clock. Now you're getting Sheamus versus Tensai in a 22-minute match. That just makes me want to blow. And the thing is, they're not bad matches. It's just too much to it. There's nothing to the match. There's nothing that invests me to want to watch it, and it just seems like it goes on forever.
No, you're done at that point. Mentally, you're exhausted because you had just spent 2+ hours of trying to keep track. And the thing that drives me crazy is, Lee, like you're saying, I mean, it seems like Lee, I think you got it right. They basically took a 2-hour show and they stretched it to 3 hours, and then those gaps in there were matches that were normally squash matches. Instead of 3 minutes are now 8 minutes, and we're getting more segment recaps. So all you're getting is just hammered with stuff that you already know. So you're just mentally exhausted by the time 10 o'clock comes around because you're like, good Lord, if I have to see another recap of Cena's mic, it was a great promo. I get it. Stop showing it to me.
Yeah, I know. The way how that affects TLC though is in terms if you watch Raw and like that, and if you watch if you go on Wednesday main event, watch Superstars on Thursday, SmackDown Friday. By the time Sunday comes around, are you really gonna watch it? Pay whatever it is over there, or 15 quid in terms of this case over here? That amount of money to effectively the TLC. Let's face it, it's not a massive pay-per-view anymore because Punk's injured. There's not a lot riding on it. The only match that realistically will give some kind of indication of what's going on is Cena versus Dolph. Are you really going to spend your money for that? And the ratings for Raw and the tuning in for Raw will be affected by the TLC. It just all works its way around because of the ratings, because they suck. I'm not being funny, but they really are bad. 2.5, 2.6, it's not good enough. It really is.
Pretty soon they'll be competing with SmackDown for highest rating of the week.
Yeah, doesn't SmackDown pull like a 2.1?
It can do.
Yeah, they've been hovering at the 1.9, 2.0 level.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the closest that the two shows have ever been to each other.
Yeah, ever since SmackDown. Well, no, when SmackDown was on pay TV, it was or free TV. When it was on, wasn't it pulling pretty decent numbers, like 2.4, 2.5?
At the beginning it was, but even when it was, Raw was pulling in 4.0s.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Okay.
No, but you said it right there, though. I mean, Raw's now effectively pulling in what SmackDown used to pull it. Give it another year, and if they continue with the 3-hour Raws, which they have said they will, how far is this going to drop? Because seriously, after WrestleMania, we know that there is going to be that period which sucks. It's normally from after Extreme Rules, from May till about the end of June,
July,
end of July-ish,
yeah.
That area that really is shit because they are mentally out of it. How bad is
Yeah,
that going to be?
I don't know, Lee. That's a very good point because I always look at that time because that's when they start cutting talent. That's when they start, getting rid of people and not even bringing up fresh faces. And you're right. I mean, everybody's just gassed because of the run to WrestleMania. So usually, like the first 3 or 4 weeks after WrestleMania is just like the slowest and the worst crap.
And they always do that tour of Europe then after WrestleMania.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
those
that's true too.
horrible Raws and SmackDowns.
Everybody's jet lagged.
offense.
Hold on.
No, Lee, it's everyone's jet lagged.
Hold on.
No,
I'm
Lee,
sorry.
right.
Wait. The show in London, which always airs in April, which I'm struggling. Do you know what? Just on a side note, I tried to get front on seats down in London, the O2 Arena, and when they went out on sale, they were all sold out already. How the fuck does that work? How does that work?
That's because you're a virgin market.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, anyway, back onto the subject of actual Raws in London. They're not bad shows. They're not bad shows. I mean, they can be pretty good shows at times. The problem, don't look at me like that, Harrison.
All right.
The problem is, they're not bad shows, but they're just nothing compared to watching it live and watching it from that's all.
The only thing that keeps the Raws in London watchable is the fact that you guys don't get Raw there all the time, so you're all pent up and you go crazy.
That's
what you mean by virgin market. That's what that means.
That's what Mike's saying. It's the pent up. Your virgin. Yeah, it's all the pent up anxiety and excitement that you guys have because it's very rare. I mean, like when TNA had their pay-per-view over, or when they had the shows at there, you guys brought the house down because you very rarely get to see this stuff. But as far as Lee, once you take that out of there and you look at the shows and the talent as it is, it's horrible because these guys are tired, they're jet lagged, and they've had to eat your shitty food for like 8 days prior to this Raw.
But now,
even one day of corn pizza would make me want to kill myself.
Just for a minute, hold on. They are normally in Germany. They're normally in Germany and France before they come to the third show in England. Okay, so they're hungover then. So you can fuck yourself right there.
All right. Okay, second point, and then we're going to move on.
I'm not even going to mention the second point. Mike's just put up a cat, so you can fuck yourself.
That's fine. All right, so Ziggler, Cena, I mean, Lee, Mike, come on, put your name down. I'm saying Ziggler just because at this point it'd be weird, but what do you think?
I'm putting my pick with Ziggler. I said it before, just because the fact that he doesn't have to actually pin Cena to win is why I'm going to predict him to win. Because
he's basically got to win the briefcase again, essentially.
Meow. My guess, shut up. My guess is, if the show main events, Cena wins. If the show doesn't main event, Ziggler wins.
It's not going to main event.
How'd you know?
Because you got a TLC. Well, because this is what we talked about on Tuesday. The fact that there's a TLC match on the card with Ryback, and he's on the poster. It'd just be silly not to have him main event.
What's the poster got to? Well, hold the fuck on. What's the poster got to do with anything? Fucking Kofi's been on a poster before. And
ADR was on the. ADR was on a poster. He main evented. It's the fact that they're pushing Ryback.
Miz was on the Survivor Series poster.
Then the WrestleMania one was obvious, but it's the poster, it's the TLC. I mean, I'm totally predicting. Okay, all right, Mike, stop playing around. Mike, stop playing around with the video.
Garvin's enjoying it.
He's just laughing at us, the fact that you're derailing the show. All right, moving on. World Heavyweight Championship. We got Sheamus versus Big Show in a chairs match. Who are you taking, and do you think Dolph is going to cash in?
This is a tough one for me. Oh my God.
Moving on. Come on, Mike. Who are you taking? Big Show or Sheamus?
Gosh. Big Show or Sheamus? Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's not that
I'm gonna go with Big Show.
Okay, you're with Big Show. Now, do you think Dolph is going to cash in, assuming he keeps the case? Or wins it back, or wins it? I don't know how you want to describe it.
No.
Okay.
No. I'm going to answer no to that.
Okay. Lee, what do you think? You think it's going to be Sheamus or Big Show? And is Dolph going to cash in?
I think that Big Show will win, more than likely, just because, well, he'll win. I am predicting he'll win. It's a chairs match, and it's not, the odds are for Sheamus, so that's probably why I'm going to go with Big Show winning. The whole cash-in, We say this every pay-per-view that he's going to cash in.
So we got to be right at some point.
Yeah, he's not going to cash in, I don't think. Unless, of course, Money in the Bank match, main events, then he will cash in, because then they'll make it a World Heavyweight title, Money in the Bank ladder. No, that wouldn't work, would it?
No.
No, they would make it a World Heavyweight title ladder match. That would be a decent main event.
I always wondered from a storyline standpoint why they didn't have Ziggler
cash in.
Yeah, cash in before the match.
Yeah.
And just make it a regular ladder match.
Yeah, take that away from Cena. No, I mean, Mike, that's a further example. I mean, it's like they have these opportunities here to do something kind of out of the box, and they're just not. They're just relying on, big names and everything like that. Mike, Garvin is saying if Dolph goes over Cena and cashes in, he'd be the star the WWE has needed for a while. Is that the case?
Well...
Okay, because look at it this way. If you want to have a major push coming out of TLC, leading probably with enough momentum to carry you through Royal Rumble, maybe Elimination Chamber, might have enough to peter him to WrestleMania, that'd be pretty huge.
Yeah, it would be, but I think it'd be pretty... Like, Dolph's kind of... We're used to him kind of nearly being there and not always being there. He'd need some kind of fantastic breakout moment. And I think... It could be, yeah, but I would wait. I would wait and do it big, I'd do it at WrestleMania, to be honest.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, why wait? Why? I mean, what do you gain by waiting? Whereas now, like Dolph Ziggler's the hot hand. Give him the ball. That's what I'm saying. I mean, he's kind of on a tear. He and Cena could put together a great match here. Yeah, do it. Just pull. At some point, you gotta pull the trigger on this guy. Why not now?
Because we've been saying this for the past year, and it's not happened yet. We've said at the start about Royal Rumble time. Everyone was saying Ziggler was the next guy. Ziggler, because of what happened, and it's taken a year.
And again, Lee, we gotta be right. Anyway, at some point. Anyway, Mike, what do you think? I mean, do you think you get anything by waiting?
I think if he does, he would get lost in the shuffle with Rock coming back and all the hustle and bustle going up to WrestleMania. I think he would just get lost in the shuffle.
See, I don't think so, because he would be focused entirely on SmackDown.
No, you're wrong. No, Harrison, no, you're wrong. You are so wrong there, because Mike's right. No, because The Rock and whoever, Punk, whatever, they will dominate the build. Completely dominate.
How big was Daniel Bryan and Sheamus last year?
How long did
they got lost in the shuffle?
Yeah, that's a good point. But that was on Raw, though. That wasn't on SmackDown.
No, that was SmackDown.
Yeah. It was both.
I know, I was there.
Yeah? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess that's a fair point. Although, look at him now. I mean, you got Daniel... Well, still not main eventing. All right. So, regardless, the match in itself. Sheamus and Big Show. You guys... I mean, do you think this will be... It'll be a chairs match, so maybe it'll be entertaining. I mean, this is just a match that's so close down to the wire. The only reason I'm taking Show is just so Dolph gets that cash in, and then gets that breakout moment.
No, I do think you're wrong.
I can see more of a cash in if Sheamus won over Big Show.
Yeah, but then Sheamus would have to be like Big Show would then have to basically Show would have to. No, Sheamus would have to hit Show with a chair, get a cheap win, start celebrating, but then Show would literally dominate Sheamus, like smack him around with a chair several million times over. Sheamus is down, and then Dolph comes and cashes it.
And that would be the exact same thing that happened last year.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing. That is exactly what happened with DB.
All right. Moving on to the tag match, which is probably going to be in the main event. Team Hell No, and Ryback versus The Shield in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. All right, so here's the thing. Shield debuts right now. Joe and Garvin are the only ones who think they have a possibility. Ooh, Lee. So Lee, you think the Shield's going to win this one?
Well, I don't really see how they can't win. We can't, to be honest with you, because if they don't win, they're going to make the same mistake that TNA is making. And that is, with like the Aces and Aces have pretty much not won a match yet. The Shield to get over.
Well, they won. Didn't they win their first match at Bound for Glory?
Yeah.
Didn't they beat Sting?
Okay, I'm so sorry.
And what's really funny is that Joe said exactly the same thing on Tuesday, and Rob corrected him, saying exactly the same thing. I'm like,
okay. Well, you can say that, but look
so
where
Lee doesn't listen to
now.
the show. Lee, when you're not on, you don't listen to the show, is what you're saying.
I had to listen because it was my supposed to be victory speech, and I missed it.
Yeah.
But the thing, shut up, you. I'm on more of the show than you are, so quiet down. Now, what would happen if the Shield lost? It would probably. I don't like the idea of it because then it would just make them look weak already. And this is supposed to be a big stable who are coming in, knocking them and shit out of everybody. As such, they need to win. If they do lose, it will be a really crap ending to TLC because nothing will have been established. Nothing. Why do Team Hell No and Ryback need to win?
Because Ryback has yet to get the upper hand on the Shield.
The Shield are the people that need to get over here.
No, I think if you want to, I think that, because here's the thing, Lee. You got 3 guys in the Shield versus, this is essentially the Shield versus Ryback, and then we're just going to watch Team Hell No play, their shenanigans on the side of the ring. For me, I think Shield, not a clean win. No. Disqualification. I mean, something terrible to happen to Ryback, and then that's how the Shield gets a win. But I think the Shield has to at least get some kind of upper hand to put Ryback on the back foot.
I think they'll somehow do a way to lure Ryback away from the match.
Yeah, or something like that.
Make it a 3-on-2, and then that's how the Shield goes over. Maybe that's where Punk comes in and distracts Ryback. Ryback chases him to the back.
That's what I think.
Yeah, but isn't Punk going to be in crutches? I mean, he just had his knee scoped. I don't think he's going to be able to run. Unless he's in an electric mobility scooter.
Well, he could just be standing at the entrance.
Nah, I like the idea of him being on a little scooter you get at Walmart. Because they can bring it back from when Laurinaitis had it. All you gotta do is just take that foam thing off the front, and that can be CM Punk's little Punkmobile.
You have the worst ideas ever. Hope you know that. It's about as bad as the idea as when DX were gay.
That was brilliant. And it wasn't DX. It was just Triple H and HBK. They said they loved each other. Come on.
Sorry. Just to clarify that. Who are D-Generation X? Just to clarify.
Those guys, plus Road Dogg, plus,
just to clarify. Okay. Even Garv's shaking your head.
Because you got DX wrong.
Anyway, wrong.
Okay.
You got DX wrong.
Yeah, because when they did the Raw 1000, when DX came out, it was just Triple H and HBK. They didn't bring out 4 other guys after that.
No, actually, it was just them to start off with.
3 other guys.
And it was them for the past 10 years before that as well. Before then, they decided that Road Dogg and Billy Gunn needed a payoff, and the next pack came on as well. So yeah, it was for about 10 years.
Yeah, the Road Dogg hasn't been a member of DX since 2000.
Yeah. Damn it, Mike. The Road Dogg. All right. So, Mike, what do you think? I mean, do you think that Ryback's going to get? You think Shield's going to win this, or Ryback's going to win it?
Oh yeah, I think Shield has to win tomorrow. I'm coming right out the gate. You can't have them lose a big match like that. Can you imagine if back in '96 the NWO lost that first match at Bash at the Beach? That would have killed them dead. Same thing will happen with the Shield. They need to win if they want to continue to look strong and be a force to reckon with.
Yep, completely, absolutely agree. They need to win.
Oh,
I can see that finish from space.
And your little spaceship. Okay, so all right. So then the idea is no one on this show currently is saying that Ryback is going to have his shoulders on the mat.
Well, no. You were until about 5 seconds ago.
No, he's saying the one to be pinned.
The one to be pinned.
I think it'll be Kane or Daniel Bryan taking the pin.
It'll be Kane.
I'm gonna flip a coin. Yeah,
Probably Kane. Take the pin. Probably Kane. I mean, T-Bry, Team Beard. There's no way that's going to happen, right, Garvin? He's nodding. All right. All right, TLC as a pay-per-view as a whole, it is kind of on, I mean, they are kind of digging themselves out of a hole because, they're not going to have Punk on there. They're kind of losing ratings, as Lee likes to go on and on about, because the ratings are absolute shite, as he likes to say.
Well, they are.
Absolute shit.
Absolute shit.
You tell me otherwise. You tell me that they're good.
I have,
you tell me
that
you'd be happy with them.
the ratings aren't great, but they're not as abysmal as you think they are.
Okay, so you tell me when
there are reasons why they're that bad. There are reasons why they're that bad.
Why is that, Harrison? Why is that?
Like I said earlier, because they knew when they were going to 3 hours they were going to lose. They were going to lose ratings numbers. Again, they're going up against Monday Night Football, and they always suffer because of that.
Nothing to do with the quality of the show, nothing like that. Nothing. Yeah.
No, I mean the quality is affecting it. I don't think it's affecting it as much as you say it is.
I think it is. I think people are bored. I think people get very bored easily.
I'm bored with this conversation. TLC as a pay-per-view as a whole. What do you think, Mike? You looking forward to it, or you think this is kind of a holdover until we can get the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, they're definitely in a holding pattern. I'm not particularly looking forward to the pay-per-view. There's nothing that really sticks out to me as a match that you need to watch. Yeah, they're just kind of pushing their way through to get to the Royal Rumble and The Rock coming back. It'll be a rough few weeks until that first Raw in January when they really kick things off.
Lee, what do you think?
Yeah, you could have pretty much this card on pretty much on a spec. If you wanted to do a big Raw, you could have it on the big Raw rather than a pay-per-view. There's no reason you need to buy this.
You mean like a 4-hour Raw? Is that what you mean by a big Raw?
Fuck me. Can you imagine a 4-hour Raw?
You heard it here, folks. Lee hates the idea of a 3-hour Raw, but he's pro 4-hour Raw.
He endorses the 4-hour commercial-free Raw.
Commercial-free Raw. Jesus Christ, can you imagine how that would work?
I just like the idea that in Lee's world, a plate of human excrement is okay. I mean, it's terrible. Unless you have more of it, then it's okay.
Hang on a minute. You're going back on your own argument now because you said the show was perfectly fine a minute ago.
I'm saying in your world, this is what it is. I'm not saying logically it makes sense because it doesn't. That's why I'm making fun of you, Lee. Do you need me to draw you a diagram? Because I have a webcam here. I have a dry erase board right over there. I can draw you little stick figures explaining how I just burned you.
Well, go for it. It's better than looking at your face, so go for it. It's fine.
For me, this pay-per-view is a holding pattern. The only thing that is going to be exciting coming out of this is the ladder match with Dolph Ziggler and Cena, just to see how well Ziggler sells that match. I'm fully expecting him to pull a Mankind and go flying at some point and landing on something. It's going to be spectacular to watch him.
Just to clarify, when I said special 3-hour Raw, what I meant was like an actual decent episode of Raw, not like an extra added on an hour. That would be very, very special.
Now, like back in the day, it used to be special Raws when they'd go to 3 hours. Now would it be special if they went back to 2 hours?
It would be.
That's our
It's our special less of Raw.
I bet it'd get a better rating as well.
No, it's just raw from concentrate. It's like when you buy when you buy fabric softener, you buy the smaller concentrated bottle. That's what you get. It's a shot glass of raw, not a whole 8-ounce beer, but just the shot glass, like good Tennessee whiskey. All right, so that it was TLC. Real quick news break. Randy Orton has a legitimate separated shoulder. He's going to be out for at least 3 to 4 weeks. This probably is not going to help their rating situation at all, but it'll be fun to watch them see how they can see what happens if he does come back, because that's about right in time for Royal Rumble. So
I hope he does come back and he's heel, like he just goes and attacks some random good guy. I really do, because then Randy Orton will be so much better.
It's boring. Face Orton is boring.
It's so bad. Even he said it's boring. That's how bad it is.
All right, sounds good. All right, so Mike, if people want to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
Well, before we talk about that, there's one. I promised a statement on my behalf about the FTW Draft Season 3, and I think it's about time that I reveal my master plan. I am glad that we won. Team FTW pulling out the win. What I do is I took one for the team. I pretended to go over to Team Listeners and trade them Randy Orton and give Ken bad trading ideas, so then he would get those crappy wrestlers onto his team, and virtually I sabotaged them, and I was able to help FTW pull out a win. So, good job, guys! I can't believe we pulled it off.
So it was nothing to do.
Congratulations to all of us. I think we all deserve equal praise.
No. We don't deserve equal praise. You did fuck all.
You're right. I deserve more praise.
You don't deserve any praise
after I sabotaged Team Listeners.
If it wasn't for my last trade, we wouldn't have won this draft. I correctly predicted TNA. Your shit led to more fuck-ups because some douchebag named yourself managed to mess up. I was going to trade from you so then we would win easily. But fuck no, we have to do it the hard way and give radio influence to fucking Randy Orton, make life really difficult for us. Don't look like that, Harrison.
And you're right. I went in there and I sabotaged their team. I convinced them to pick up who was that guy that RVD faced?
I'm off. I take 1 week off. One week off, and this is what happens.
Harrison.
So it's nice to be back a part of Team FTW. I'm really looking forward to season 4. Let's go get them, guys.
I can't.
You will not. We will be having a vote. We will be having a vote on this.
No,
whether you're allowed back in.
We won't, because it's like I run a goddamn daycare. I can't leave you guys alone for one show without. Oh God, I just wanted to yell at Joe all Tuesday. I just wanted to spend Tuesday night.
Okay.
Fuck wrestling. I'm just gonna yell at Joe for 2 hours and then
Okay. Harrison, shh. Otherwise, you'll be on the vote. Okay. Q Patch is on a vote. Okay. We are having a vote.
We're having a British cool vote. He's on a vote.
He's on a vote to see if he's part of Team FTW or if he's part of Team Listeners. You are not. We are having a vote on this.
Why?
And I will be voting no. You are Team Listeners.
I am so confused right now.
Okay, Harrison.
Besides locking us in for a win, what did I do wrong? I don't understand.
Hey, what did you do wrong? What did you do right?
I locked us in for a win. I went behind enemy lines. I pretended to be one of the regulars.
You're one of the regulars. You're not one of the regulars.
On Twitter
I'm one of the specials.
You're one of the specials. I'll give you that. You're very special indeed.
And because of me, we picked a.
He's also
we were able to scratch
what?
our way to victory.
Scratch our way to victory. It was easy.
I pulled us out of the jaws of defeat.
No. I won, and it was so easy when I made the logical choices. Not you fucking around with Randy Orton to the douchebag listeners. Nothing to do with that at all.
I anticipated you and your terrible moves.
My terrible moves that won.
So I had to go and I had to make sure that Ken made even worse moves than you did.
I won.
And because of that, Team FTW. Hashtag Team FTW for the win.
Hashtag Team FTW. I won.
Good job, guys.
I won the damn thing.
All right.
Good job. No,
for all of us here at FTWpodcast.com, we wish you a happy
No,
New Year and Merry Christmas.
I closed the show, Mike. No, FTWpodcast.com, Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, FTWlive.com. Fuck you, I closed the show.
We are having a vote on your... We're having a vote.
Happy holidays.
Fuck out holidays.
Happy Christmas, as they say in the UK.
Merry Festivus? Happy Festivus?
I hope the Iron Sheik comes on the show and destroys you.